I did spend my hard-earned $2.99 on this app. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Kat and I am a flight attendant for a major US airline. Now, I know some of you are looking at me and you're probably like, Kat, you look like such a bum. But it's really because like this weather is so gray, it's dreary, it's been raining for like days on end, and I don't know when it's gonna stop. It's like seriously starting to affect my mood. Are any of y'all going through this? Like comment to me down below like around like what cities y'all are in, and if it's just like raining and sad and like disgusting outside. Obviously do not put your house address. I repeat, do not put your house address or your ex's house address to be funny down below. Just don't. Just tell me like around a city that you live in. But anyways, before I go off on a tangent, that is not the point of this video. Many of you have been like telling me that you are scared to fly. And I have never gotten so many people as I have like probably in this last month tell me that they are scared of flying. But I thought let's go ahead and make this video and kind of talk about like why you may be scared of flying and what to do to overcome your fear of flying. So usually when people tell me that they have a fear of flying, I assume one of two things. I assume either first, you either have a fear of turbulence, or second, you have a fear of dying in a plane crash. So let's go ahead and first talk about turbulence. So according to the FAA, that is my grocery list. Let's see, there we go. Okay, so according to the FAA, on their website, they have it listed as clear air turbulence is air movement created by atmospheric pressure, jet streams, air around mountains, cold or warm weather fronts, or thunderstorms. So basically we have three types of turbulence that we go by. We'll go by either light, moderate, or severe. So most people will experience either light or moderate turbulence. I would say very, very, very few people will ever experience severe turbulence. And some of the reasons why that is first off because pilots usually know when we're going to be going through turbulence. So a lot of times before we even start a flight, we have a whole debriefing. And in the brief, one of the things that we talk about is going to be turbulence. So it's going to be whether we're expecting turbulence, if so, what kind, and when and where. So a lot of times the pilots will have entire maps that show like the weather and where we're expecting turbulence. But a lot of times they're still in communication with dispatch and air traffic control and all that good stuff.
No, there's no TikTok for monikers, big man. I know you're coming auto peely wally up there, but I'm going to have you doing your skate faster than a whippy gets a hard on, okay?
I mean, obviously I'm not a pilot, I can't tell you the details of it, but they are in contact with them throughout the flight. So if we are going to experience turbulence throughout the flight, then they will know that as well. So the next thing is since we know about turbulence and we know usually when it's going to occur and where, we will usually avoid turbulence. So a lot of times they will route us around turbulence, or they can send us at a different elevation or something. It kind of just depends on the planes in our area, the flight maps and things like that. But most of the time if there is going to be turbulence, they're going to do everything in their power to get us to like the smoothest air possible. So the next thing about understanding turbulence, and I think people have a fear that when turbulence hits, the plane is just going to drop out of the sky, and that is not true whatsoever. First off, planes are built to withstand several times the force of turbulence. Secondly, you kind of have to think of air and a plane as boat and water. So basically, like even if you're coming up on a wave, that water is still keeping you afloat. And it's the same way with turbulence. Even though you might be riding on turbulence, there's still air around the plane, underneath the plane. The plane's just not going to drop. Like simple aerodynamics and physics will tell you the plane's not just going to drop out of the sky. I think a lot of times that we see like on TV or on movies that like typical scene where the plane is going down and everybody's screaming, but honestly that's just not very likely to happen because of turbulence. The next thing to understand is pilots are trained so well. They understand turbulence, they understand how to fly through turbulence, they understand all different variations of turbulence and what to do in those cases. So even if turbulence did somehow like pop up out of nowhere and we didn't see it coming, they know how to handle situations like that. Now I'm also gonna put a chart like right here showing you the type of severe injuries that have happened from turbulence in the last years. Now obviously by severe injuries, this is not going to include like bruises and bumps and scrapes and things like that. This is gonna basically include hospitalizations because of severe turbulence, which as you're going to see, it's not very many. So yes, you can be injured from turbulence, and usually the injuries are going to be minor. Now, another thing that somebody told me recently is they thought that flight attendants were just as scared of turbulence, they just do a really good job of hiding it.
Be sure to stay seated or you'll bump your head.
And God's not real. When you die, you're dead.
And the truth is, Usually flight attendants are not scared of turbulence whatsoever. And I think the reason that we're not really scared of turbulence is because it happens so frequently. I feel like you'll experience, especially light turbulence, on majority of your flights. Now, moderate turbulence is gonna be a little bit more rare, and usually it occurs when there's storms around. But because if you think about it, we can be working anywhere from like 1 to, I would say, 6 flights in a day, 6 being on the regional side of things, but sometimes they can be up there in 6. And because we are flying so often, we just realize how often turbulence occurs. And to be quite honest, turbulence is one of my favorite parts of flying. I know that's like weird to say, but I love turbulence. It is so soothing. I'm like that person that when I get into a car, I can easily fall asleep. And I think like the plane is kind of the same way when turbulence hits, that turbulence just like soothes me, and it's just like so calming. I don't know, I love turbulence. But I do understand why you would think that we put on a really pretty poker face, but I can actually tell you, usually it's not a poker face. We're just so used to it. We know that nothing is likely to come of it. To me, there's no poker face. I actually really enjoy turbulence. I've been through it so often, and I've been on the rougher end of turbulence, but like at the end of the day, I trust my flight crew. I trust the engineers to the planes. I know the chances of anything happening are extremely rare due to turbulence. So honestly, like turbulence just doesn't scare me. I actually really enjoy it. It's like a mini roller coaster at work. Okay, so let's move on to the second thing, and that is dying in a plane crash. So I actually have an app on my phone, and this is not in collaboration or sponsorship with them, just to say, but I did go ahead and buy this app. It's $2.99. It's like one of the top apps. Oh, a bunny just ran by. Okay, anyways, it's $2.99. It's one of the top travel apps in the App Store because a lot of you seem to be scared of flying, which actually breaks my heart. Like when people tell me that they're scared of flying, that makes me so sad because flying is like the easiest, best, and actually the safest way to get around. And you're never going to experience all that the world has to offer unless you can overcome your fear of flying. So this app is called Am I Going Down? I'll put the little app icon like right here so you can see it. I tried to show it on my camera, but it is just not working out. I'm gonna scoot over right here, and I'm gonna share my screen right in this area, and I'm basically going to walk you through this app on all the cool stuff that you can do. Okay, so I'm about to start screen recording now. So as you can see, the app is Am I Going Down? And you can see the icon right there. It's like the only one that's there. So click that icon, and you can see that it says departure airport, destination airport, airline, and aircraft. So I'm gonna basically take you through as if we're going on a trip. So let's just say that we're gonna be going JFK. So we're going to New York. There we go. And our destination airport is going to be, let's say it's going to be London, so LHR. So we're going to London Heathrow, and we are going to be flying on Delta. We're going to Delta, Miss Delta Airlines, and let's pick an aircraft. I'm gonna guess this flight is under a 777. Obviously that's a guess, it could definitely be under something else, but let's just say it's under a 777. Now, as you can see, it says, Am I Going Down? Let's find out. There you go. So JFK to LHR on Delta Airlines on a Boeing 777 has a 1 in 5,078,398 chance of going down. So if you took this flight every day, you'd expect on average to last 13,913 years before you went down. Every day for almost 14,000 years, you could take that flight before you would ever expect to go down. Now let me remind you, I think like the lifespan average is 70 years. So 14,000 years every day you're taking this same flight. Yeah, that's pretty rare. But let's just go back and let's do another one. So let's clear her on out. Okay, so let's open her back up, and we are going to be doing another one. So we're gonna say our departure airport, we're going to LAX this time. Let's see, Los Angeles. And we are going to go, where do we wanna go? Let's go to Charlotte. We're coming to Charlotte. And we're going to be flying on Miss America. We're going on American Airlines. And we are going to be flying the Airbus 321. So, are we going down? Okay, LAX to Charlotte on American Airlines on the Airbus 321 has a 1 in 4,088,068 chance of going down. That means if you took this flight every day, you'd expect on average to last 11,200 years before you went down. 11,200 years before you went down. Yeah. So I know it's kind of funny because we think in our heads that there's no way that flying can be the safest way, and we hear stuff that is more dangerous to be walking on the street or in your car than it is to be flying. And there's like, no way, because we see all this media attention to airplane crashes. But when you look at the simple statistics, your chance of going down is so slim, so slim. So as you can see, that's a really cool app. I'm not in any sponsorship or collaboration. Once again, with the app, I did spend my hard-earned $2.99 on this app. But if you really do have a fear of flying, I highly recommend you get this app. It is going to show you a realistic statistic on what you can expect when you are flying. So if I have a severe fear of flying, I would definitely get this. I would plug in my departure and my arrival destination. A lot of times you can find the aircraft on the board at the gate, so you can know what aircraft you're gonna be flying. Worst case scenario, you can ask the gate agent or you can ask a flight attendant to find out. Plug in your information, and there you are going to know what are your odds of going down. Now, obviously you can see they are slim to none. I think that media hypes everything up. I don't want to just blame media, but you do have to think like plane crashes are obviously going to be frontline story because they almost never happen. So when they do happen, they're going to be straight on the front page of the news. It's crazy when a plane crash happens. So a lot of times it's going to get a lot of coverage. And I think TV and movies definitely play a role in our ideas on what we think is going to happen in a plane crash. But you also have to realize your flight crew, your flight attendants and your pilots are very, very, very well trained. We are extremely well trained. We have to go through so much training, and we have to go through it every single year, okay? Not to mention we have to be briefed before every single flight. So trust me when I'm saying your pilots and your flight attendants know their procedures. They know what to do in an emergency, and you should not let a fear of flying get in your way of traveling. I really do hope that this helps some of you out, and I understand when you're scared of the unknown, but definitely don't let it interfere with your life. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please give it a thumbs up if this was helpful, and if you did like this, and please subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great one, y'all. Bye.